Let's get it. 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 All right, y'all. So hopefully we never know what I'm gonna do, right? But tonight should be a pretty lit training. Hopefully, I appreciate everybody getting on the call. There's a lot of things that I do, you know, like kind of randomly and spontaneously, right? As a leader, right? And a lot of it has to do with just kind of awareness, right? I always call it like field vision and all that other stuff. So you'll never really see me doing I don't do trainings just to do trainings. I typically do trainings when I see that there's an issue, maybe of something that we can resolve, maybe something that we can get better on, or just to continue to push through the momentum or anything that we have. We are in full-fledged momentum. We have several P2000s popping. Shout out to Ez right now. P5's about to pop, right? P1's popping, all the other stuff. So we're booming, right? So shout out to everybody for hopping on this call. When our organization's well into the 3,000s, 4,000s, 5,000s, whatever the hell it is, I don't even know. But my point is we have other teams that are on this call as well. And so as throughout my entire organization, we should have a lot more people on this call. It should be over 300. I'm aware that rooms are packed out and everything like that. But, you know, my thing is that, you know, that just tells us that there's a issue with duplication, and we should really very much so be holding people accountable to get on these trainings, right? Because a trained team is a paid team, okay? A trained team is a paid team. Now, my thing is that a lot of us, right? By the way, cameras on. If you're an ATM, cameras on. I got 300 people on the call, and like 90% of the cameras are off, right? That's just not the culture. To be real, if your camera's off, just get off the call. Like, I don't care what your makeup looks like. I don't care if you're a guy and you got punched in the face today, right? If your shit looks, I don't care, right? Get off the call if you don't have your cameras on, because it's just, this is business at the end of the day, right? We should all be present and focused, etc. Don't hop on the call just to hop on the call, all right? So if you're not listening, get off. There's no point in me being here, right? Integrity is how you get paid, integrity of the grind. So anyways, let's get it, right? So what I want to be going over today is really establishing a grinding culture, and there's going to be a lot of things that come into, right, a culture of grind. And what we got to understand is it's not just grind. It's not just, it's the small things that are really the big things, and it's the technical things that we've got to master and learn, right, before we even apply a lot of the emotion and all the other stuff. So as a leader, right, I really move very deliberately as a leader, okay? So many people hit me up with, you know, hey, I have this idea. We should add this into the system. We should add these days. We should do this. My thing is that we've got to be deliberate about what we're adding and understand that anything we do is going to impact a lot of people, and it can also ruin the momentum that we have, right? So we shouldn't just be throwing things in there just because we want to. The question is, do we need to? Right? And the question is, do we need to add those things in there? The question is, will it for sure make it better? And the other thing is, will it fit our culture? And this is going to be for everybody worldwide on whatever your team is. You don't want to just be adding shit into your team just because it sounds like a great idea. Okay? So you really got to learn to think as a leader. But the first thing I want to really kind of go over is learning, right? So yes, we've been in the unconscious competence type of learning, right, where I went over the different stages of unconscious competence. And you know what, I'll just go ahead and do it really quick. We got what? Unconscious, right? We have unconscious incompetence. That's the lowest form of learning. Then what we have is and if you guys can't see it, let me know and I'll scoot it closer, okay? So we have unconscious incompetence. Then what we have is conscious. We have conscious. Hold on, I can't spell. Let me spell this shit. We have conscious. Okay, I'll move it closer. We have conscious, right? Competence. Competence, right? Then we have. Oh no, I'm sorry. We have unconscious incompetence. We have conscious incompetence. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. We have conscious incompetence. I don't know how to spell, so it doesn't matter. All right. Then we have conscious competence. And then again, I'll scoot it closer, give me a second. Then what the last one we have is we have unconscious, all right, competence. I can't spell, so I'm sorry, all right? So I'll scoot it closer for you. So again, I can't spell, so I'm sorry. But we have unconscious incompetence, okay? Unconscious incompetence. Then what we have is we have conscious incompetence, right? We have conscious incompetence. Then what we have is conscious competence. Then what we have is conscious competence. And then what we have is unconscious competence. And so it's very good for you to be aware of our levels of learning, okay? So unconscious incompetence, what does that mean? That means we're unaware, we have no idea that the government might be doing something right now. We're unaware that there might be a conspiracy out there, hypothetically. We're unaware of how to do something. We're unaware of network marketing, right? We're unaware of a better way to make money. We're unaware of how money works, okay? So that's unconscious incompetence. It means you're not aware or you don't know what you don't know. You just know nothing, right? Now, the next form is going to be conscious incompetence. That just means you're aware. That means you're aware of something, but you don't really know what to do, right? And that's kind of like a confused person does nothing. And so, so conscious incompetence, it means you're aware, but you don't know what to do or how to do it, but you're aware that there might be a conspiracy out there. You're aware that there's a better way to make money, but you just don't know how to find that better way to make money. You're aware that there's a better way to talk to people, but you don't know how to do that, right? So you're aware, all right? Now, conscious competence is this. Conscious competence, this is when you're getting into a better form of learning. Now you know how to do something, you're aware of how to do it, but you must be conscious in order for you to perform that task. You have to think about PS3. You don't just do PS3, right? You have to think, okay, let me pique interest. Then let me show the plan. Then let me do a third-party three-way, right? That's going to be that, right? Now, it's unconscious what? Unconscious competence. I don't know. Cautious unconscious competence, right? So conscious, right? Oh, wait. No, yeah, conscious competence, right? That's right, conscious competence. Then the last one is going to be unconscious competence. The last one's going to be unconscious competence, all right? The last one's going to be unconscious competence, right? Now, what unconscious competence means is it means, yeah, this is correct. This is correct. Okay, so what unconscious competence means is it means that you are doing it without thinking, okay? It means you're tapped in. So as you see in this, I had to think about how to write this down, right? It wasn't just bop, 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 bop. And you're going to see later on, I'm going to get in my zone, and you can tell that I'm going to go into unconscious competence. That's the highest level of learning. That is what we call tapped in. That is when the higher power comes in, takes over. You don't have to think, you're just doing. You're able to react without having to think about it. You're able to do, right, whatever it is that you need to do. It's like breathing for you, right? When you're breathing, you're in unconscious competence. It's just breathing for you, right? And then what you want to do is you want to get to the level of where you're able to tap into unconscious competence, to where when you wake up into I am, you're in I am, and this is just your life. It's like breathing to you. It's making money it's like breathing to you. Making money is like drinking water. You just drink when you're thirsty. You're not thinking about all this other stuff. So you tap into this unconscious competence thing, okay? And so now what I want to do is I want to go over a couple of things. All right, this is going to be, right, 3 levels of learning. Now, this is stuff, just so you know, I don't just teach shit that I just read in a book. And I always let everyone know, this is just how I've learned in the field of being around a lot of people. This isn't some shit I looked up on Google. This isn't something I've heard on a documentary, okay? A lot of the stuff I teach, 99% of it is just what I've learned, okay? So this isn't, again, someone might be like, that's not what it is. This is how it is for me, okay? That's all I can tell you. So 3 levels of learning. Now there's the 3 levels of learning. And this is what I typically see on the 3 levels of learning in our niche, right? It's going to be, there's going to be audio. Right? Audio is going to be number 1. Then number 2 is hands-on or doing. Hands-on or doing. Okay? And then there's number 3, which I'm going to get into in a minute. Now, what I want you guys to understand is that we want most of our audio, it might be listening to personal development, or this is audio right now. This is audio learning, okay? This is audio learning. Hands-on, that's trench work. Phase 1, getting in the trenches, right? You can learn a lot, right, by getting in the trenches. An hour in the field, right? An hour in the field is worth 20 in the classroom. Now, the last one is going to be teaching. Okay? And everybody, this is a very, let's just say, this is a very, a lot of people want to just go here. That's the last level. And so a lot of us, what we do is we skip that stage and we skip that stage, and everybody just wants to be, everyone wants to teach trading when they're not making money. Everybody wants to teach me how to build when they can't outbuild me, right? Everybody wants to tell their mentor that, you know, hey, I know what's better. They want to teach their mentor, right? But they haven't even mastered the hands-on, okay? Right? They say in order for you to master something, you have to have 10,000 hours, right, of whatever it is that you're doing. And I can assure you that we're way past 10,000 hours. So my thing is you'll have the newest person coming in here wanting to, you have somebody that has been in the organization for 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. We've been doing this for 5 years, and they're still wanting to teach, right, things that they don't know. You've got to listen, listen to your mentor repeatedly. Now this is what's going to help you get through the stages I just spoke about earlier, right? Repeatedly. Then you go into hands-on. Now when you go into hands-on, now you're going to go into conscious competence. Conscious competence is when you're going into hands-on. And then what happens is you should start getting so good at it that you eventually get into unconscious competence. This is when you should be teaching. Not when you don't have any results, not when you really don't know what you're doing, you're just teaching theory, okay? So this is really important. I want you to really write this down because I'm going to go back to this in a minute. All right? I'm going to go back to all of this is going to come full circle, okay? I'm just taking you in stages here. Now there's a next step. There's a next thing I want you to write down. It's going to be the 3 levels. The 3 levels. All right? Of duplication. All right? The 3 levels of duplication. So, what is that going to be? Okay? This is when you're teaching someone. You do, I do, you watch. Right? And so for me, that's audio or whatever in the very first one. Yeah, watch, whatever site, all that other stuff, right? But I do, you watch, that's going to be the first one. Now, the next one is you do, I'm sorry, we do a little bit together. I'm sorry, the next one is we do a little bit together. All right? And then the last one is you do, I watch. You do, I watch, okay? So I do, you watch, right? So someone comes into my business, right? Hypothetically, Now I'm going to have them watch me. I'm going to train them. I'm going to have them watch me in action. I'm going to have them watch me on a call. If I do an op call, right, I'm going to have someone on there just watching the op call so they see me in action, right? So I do, you watch. Then we might do an op call together. We do an op call together. We're giving them that hands-on. We're giving them that hands-on, right? Then we do you do, I watch, giving them more hands-on. The more hands-on we give them, the faster they're learning, and then they'll be able to teach and then duplicate that, right? But this is us wanting to duplicate, right, throughout our organization. Now, why I'm teaching you this is this. I want you to understand this, right? Why is it that some people are more confident than others? Have you ever realized that the more you learn, right, the more you do things, the more confident you become? Right? So my thing is now one person on here was extremely comfortable right when they got into network marketing. Now one person on here was extremely comfortable, but guess what? As you started grinding and you started getting in the trenches and all this other stuff, you started becoming more confident. So I want to be thinking, reverse engineer that really quick. So if I was uncomfortable when I came in, how do I get more comfortable? Right? I have to learn more. So now when someone else comes in, how do I get them more confident? Right? I have to, right, give them hands-on and build their confidence by giving them hands-on. So what I do then is I take them through these stages, because at some point, then what happens is you give them so much hands-on that they tap into the highest form of learning, which is now unconscious competence, right? And so that's what we want to do, is use this and give them and build their confidence by giving them hands-on, okay? Now what most of us do is we baby our team. We baby our team, and we wonder why our team is not growing. And our team is not growing because we do this thing where we do ranks, right? We do ranks as leadership. And so understand what I'm saying to you right now. This makes no sense to me. Okay, I want to build their confidence as fast as possible, right? Yes, okay, perfect. So I'm not going to give them the hands-on experience of speaking in front of others. I'm not going to give them the hands-on experience of doing an op call, right? Until they are P1000, hypothetically, right? P600, right? If someone hits P600, then I'm going to give them a call. Then I'm going to let them do a call. Well, what's the problem with that? The problem is some people, many people, right, won't even go hit P600, and it's not because they can't. Is because they don't have the confidence level to do so, because you're babying them, you're doing everything for them, right? Hoping and helping as much as you possibly can, which is actually suffocating them, and hoping at some point you can build them up to do an op call, right? Then when they get there, they'll finally do it. And the problem with that is, then what we do is we have people that have been in our organization for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, and we're wondering why they're not moving, and it's because we're not letting them. We're not letting them, and that's the problem. And so, right, in order for you to build someone's confidence, you got to start giving them that hands-on experience, okay? You got to start giving them that hands-on experience. And so, in order for you to truly start duplicating, you've got to learn as a leader to have, there's always going to be that little weird area where you have to let go, right? There's going to have to be that weird area where who's on the call that I just can pick on. I'm just going to use Cynthia, right? Because I always fucking pick on Cynthia, right? So let's do Cynthia, right? So hypothetically, Cynthia's in, and like Cynthia's a beast, obviously, right? But let's just say Cynthia's just not that good, right? Well, my thing is what I'm going to have to do as a leader at some point is I'm going to have to push Cynthia outside of her comfort zone. How do I do that, right? A good leader pushes someone outside their comfort zone. They don't keep them in it. Success is outside your comfort zone. So guess what? I'm also going to be uncomfortable if I'm pushing Cynthia to go do an op call, right? And I don't know if she's going to do good. So guess what? We are both growing, because success is spiritual, right? So if I'm uncomfortable, good. If you're uncomfortable letting go, good. The thing is at the end of the day, I'm not worried about Cynthia messing up that op call. Right? What I'm doing is I have an abundance mindset. What I'm thinking is, fuck the op call. I personally believe you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So you know what? Let's throw Cynthia on there. Let's see how she does. I have an abundance mindset because at the end of the day, I believe in Cynthia. So what I'm going to be thinking is, right, or whoever it is, I'm talking about someone who you perceive to not be a great person, a great builder. Okay? So my thing is I'm going to have an abundance mindset. I'm going to push Cynthia into the trenches, and I'm going to be thinking literally, I don't care if that person signs up, because I'm looking at the big picture of what Cynthia is going to do in the future, right? Of what she's going to do in the future. And so that's how my mentality is. I'm having her get on that call with an abundance mindset, right? I don't care if someone says yes or no. Okay? You got to be thinking like you're chairman 100, chairman 250, chairman 1 million, right? So do you think a chairman 1 million is going to give a fuck if someone doesn't signs up or someone doesn't sign up? Ooh, that scared me, right? If someone does or does not sign up, no, because their team is so big. So you got to be acting as if. So my thing is learn to push your leaders into that uncomfortable spot. You've got to create duplication. You cannot just sit there and wait for someone to become great. You have to make someone become great. You're a mentor, okay? That's what mentors do. So there should be no reason to wait for this. Now, this is what a lot of us do, and I want to talk to everyone that kind of first came into, right, ATMs. I'm talking about my first wave of leaders that we've ever had, right? Okay, that Drake's ever had, okay, and all this other stuff. What I want you to look at is the people that were here, like, all the way last year in the beginning of the year. A lot of you are still here. Now, I want you to look at this. What happened was, and then I'm just going to put WATM. What happened is this. This is wave one. Okay, wave one, wave one, wave one. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody on our squad is just straight degenerates, right? Especially in our first wave. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Drake, me, and a lot of y'all in the first wave. Let's just call it. Now, what's my point with this though? We've had to build people, and now everyone else sees them as a superstar, right? But they are now savages now, right? But guess what? In that first wave, they were so bad, right? They were so bad that what we did is we had to be thinking, how can we make them better, right? And so what we ended up doing, is this is our first wave. And then let's just say all of these are our first wave too, right? So just say 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, cool, awesome. This is our first wave. Now, what's my point? What we ended up doing is we started having Cynthia, for example, right, take a call for maybe maybe let's just say this is Cynthia. So we would have Cynthia hypothetically take a call for Austin, or maybe for, let's say, Edgar, for example, right? So we have Cynthia take a call for Edgar, right? Hypothetically, right? They're not on the same team, right? So what happens is she's taking the call for Edgar, right? Now, what happens is now Edgar might be taking a call for someone over here on Cynthia's team. Because think about this. A lot of our organizations are not enormous right in the beginning, right? Obviously not. So get this. How do we get this first wave to really learn and grow their mentality as fast as possible? Well, in the beginning, right, I would say, let's just think about like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 people might produce, I don't know how many calls. Let's just throw a random number out there. Let's just say 5 calls a day over here, and 3 calls a day over here, and hypothetically 7 over here, hypothetically, right? I just keep booting Cynthia, right? So 5, 3, and 7. Well, I've got to be thinking, okay, how can I get let's just say, Jose, for example, how can I get Jose, right, more experience? Well, I have him take some calls over there. I have him take some calls over there. Now, ATM's in the first wave. All of you were helping each other with cross lines, right? All of you were helping each other with cross lines. That's why y'all became so close with each other, right? Am I wrong on this? Y'all remember doing all of this? This was the culture in the beginning, right? Right? That was the culture. Now get this. I want you to understand something here. This starts creating a culture of grind. Because now what's happening is that these people are doing nothing but taking calls for each other even when they don't have any calls to do for themselves. So now they're getting in the habit of taking these calls. Now what's the next thing that's happening for us? The next thing that's happening for us is we are shoving them through. We're giving them experience. We're giving them the hands-on. What we're now doing, right? What we're now doing, go. Now what we're now doing is we are also, right, we're shoving them through into that unconscious competence, right, where you're doing things without thinking. And now what we're doing is we're giving them more confidence. And so that's why their confidence level starts building. But here's the problem when the confidence level starts building. What happens is these teams, these leaders, their teams grow, right? What happens is these leaders' teams, they grow. And so at first, right, it was like that. And then it goes like this. Now it's just building, right? Now these big ass organizations are coming in, and now what are they starting to think now? What these leaders are starting to think now is specifically this. Well, they used to be taking each other's calls, but now they don't have time to take each other's calls. So what do? They say, I've got to focus on my own team. I've got to go focus on my own team. And I got to go focus on my own team. And so they end up doing that. And so now guess what ends up happening? Is they have that, which I'm just going to be real, it's going to end up being more of a selfish mentality. Because now what happens is they hit this level of growth and they think that they're going to go through that. And the reason why they don't is they end up hitting, right, resistance inside their organization, and then it starts to collapse. And you got to ask yourself, well, why is that? And it's because they stopped doing the things that got them to where they are now, which was helping each other. Now, here's where I'm going with that. Is your organization over here, right? Let's just say this is Ted over here. That's Ted over there. Is Ted taking calls for, right, the person over here? And then is Ted taking calls for that person? And then they're taking calls for over here, right? And now all of them we're microwaving leaders by doing that. Are we doing that? And the answer is no. We are not doing that. We are not doing what took our first level of leaders to the top. We stopped doing that when we got big organizations. And I've heard it from many of our top leaders. Well, I'm going to go do this now. I'm going to go focus on my team. I'm going to go focus on this. Now, it's crazy because Sed's in here right now, right? And when I was talking to Sed about Miami, you want to know what I was talking to Sed about? I was like, my mentality is that, yeah, of course I want to focus on the squad out here, but I think about all of Miami. I start creating a system for all of Miami because I am not, right, I'm aware of the spiritual side of success. And the spiritual side of success is I think in abundance. I think big. This is thinking small. That's thinking so small. You should be thinking, how can we all win? Why is it that, hey, drop a 1 if you are not on my team. Don't blow the chat up. Just drop a 1 if you're not on my team. Awesome. Okay. Drop a one if I've done a personal call for your team. Right? Drop a 2 if I've mentored you outside of a big ass training and you're not on my team. Man, that's weird. Yet all of you are fucking saying, right? Yet all of you are saying, I'm gonna focus on my team. That's why you're exactly where you are. That's why you're exactly where you are. You deserve to stay there until you figure it out. Because people out there need you. It's not just about you and your team. It's about the bigger picture. It's about the bigger picture. I hear people say, man, Cash, would you want to mentor someone that you're not benefiting from? What the fuck? I do all the time. I've done 4 calls, right? 4 calls this week already, and I'm doing another one tomorrow, okay? That's not for my team. And you shouldn't get in the habit of doing that, but at the same time, you shouldn't just be focused on your team. Because you're giving experience, you're not doing anything for free. You're not doing anything for free. That's why you have that scarcity mindset, is you're doing it for everyone, right? And the universe compensates you. The universe compensates you for the value that you put into the world, right? The universe compensates you from the value that you put into the world. And I also think that there's 3 people inside our penthouse right now that are not on our squad. Right? Hey, Cash, can we come over? Fucking come through. Right? Why would I shut my house down when I can give someone value and knowledge? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But, you know, I'm making 50 bands, and I'm not too good for that shit. It's really weird, bro. It's really weird. So what happens when you do this is you start getting, I'm now on the teaching stage. I learn by teaching. I'm like, oh shit, I was teaching last night, and that's when I was like, oh my God, I just realized that the first wave is a wave that was the ones helping each other, and they built a culture, but the next wave is all missing it. They're all missing it. And so now what happens is that next wave is not getting the same experience that you got. That next wave is not involved in the culture as much as you are. That next wave, you took in the knowledge, but you didn't duplicate what you were doing, right? You took in the knowledge, but you didn't duplicate, right, what you were doing. And so you've got to understand, go back to the basics, and understand, you've got to ask, what took me to where I was going? Because I was on a lot of calls with you guys once you guys were doing calls for each other. I was there when it was happening. I was there when Edgar was taking calls for people that were not on his squad. I was there for it. I seen it. I seen Cynthia doing the same thing. I remember Savage doing the same thing. I was there. I watched it with my own eyes because we deliberately set it up like that. That was always the culture. Now it's no longer the culture. Now it's no longer the culture. What you want to be doing, your organizations should be grinding together. There shouldn't be oh man, let's cross recruit. There shouldn't be that mentality. They should be grinding together. You should want them with the other team, taking calls with them and all that other stuff, because that's what's going to give them that grinding mentality, because it's either they do 1 call a day, 2 calls a day for themselves, or they could take 25 of them. And now they have that mind and that mentality of the grind. Now they got that experience and they got that confidence level and they're building faster. Now get this. Get this. Once we're more confident with something, we do it a lot better, right? So if you have someone doing an op call, this is what I really want you to understand. If you have someone doing an op call, by the way, if you're not on ATMs, when I say op call, I mean a one-on-one call, by the way. A one-on-one close someone out. We do not do big op calls. That's not part of our culture, okay? So what we do is one-on-one calls. Now get this. If Savage, hypothetically, okay, is doing the op call. Let's just say Savage is not great. He's not good, right? But he's doing the op call. He's getting more what? Knowledge. Knowledge does what? Builds confidence. Experience builds what? Confidence. So he's getting more confidence every call. Now guess what? Now when this happens, he's gaining that confidence. Guess what happens? Do you not think that when Savage now goes to recruit, that he's not going to be more confident about recruiting because he got experience from that call? Because he's doing the call so much that it builds his awareness as well. So the more he does those calls, an op call for someone else, he's now more likely to go recruit as well. And he's now also starting getting an emotional attachment to our company and to our culture because he's helping our culture. Now he feels like he's a pioneer. I was just saying this last night. I said I might not be Jason Brown, right? I might not be Chris Terry, but I take pride in being one of the first people inside the company, right? And I am one of the pioneers of this company. So this company is my baby. And so I have more passion to it just because of that. Now my thing is you've got to be thinking, I feel like I helped build this company. If you feel like you're helping, if your team is feeling like they're helping building the company, they're doing op calls, right? They're doing blah, blah, blah. Now they're becoming more confident. So now their confidence is, and that's when someone hits them up and they're like, yo, what's up, Savage? How are you? And Savage is like, yo, what's up, bro? Right now he's getting a more of a cutthroat mentality, more of a postured mentality, because he's talked to people so many times now that what is it to talk to someone when they're in your inbox now? What is it to get a rejection when they're in your inbox now, when he's gotten rejections on op calls to his face? Why would Savage care about writing someone when he's been doing op calls all these times? He's been getting no's to his face. So now he's learning, he's becoming more aware on what to say, what not to say, all this other stuff. The confidence level is growing in this individual. Man. I really hope you're getting what I'm saying. Do y'all get what I'm saying right now? Yo, drop a 1 if you get what I'm saying. Drop a 1. Awesome. You're building, so by you having your sidelines, taking calls for each other, your sidelines, you're building your confidence. Understand this. Let's be real. I might not want to take calls all fucking day for other people. But don't get it twisted. I'll be the first one to tell you, it absolutely builds my confidence till this day when I'm doing calls for other people. I learned till this day, okay, what does this leader want? It makes me change and adapt. I'm growing when I do calls. So I help other people. It builds my confidence level. If it builds mine, then it should damn sure build anyone that's not on this level yet. So you should be thinking, how can I give them that experience, right? How can I give them that experience? Doing trainings, right? Trainings. Now I want to get into the training side of things, which is going to be very imperative that you understand this. But the thing is are you doing trainings and are you spotlighting your leaders? Spotlight your leaders. Now, before Corona and all this other shit kicked off, right? Everyone in Dallas will tell you that I was never, ever wanting to speak at a hotel event, right? I was always putting everyone else inside. In fact, there was months where all I did was I did a testimonial, right? But never did I ever speak. In fact, when I hit Chairman 10, I didn't do a testimonial until I was Chairman 25. I'm sorry, I didn't speak until I was Chairman 25 at a hotel event, and I didn't start speaking at them until December when volume started going down a little bit. And that was when I was like, okay, it's time for us to step in now, right? But my point is I wanted to spotlight my leaders. Most of us take the spotlight. Most of us want to be on that flyer, right? At my stage, yes, I'm going to be on the flyer. Yes, I do trainings by myself. Yes, right, I have to do that right now at this level. But which I'm going to get into in a minute, you can spotlight your leaders and you start giving them, you pick when they start to get the teaching. Now you can operate and choose when they start getting that teaching, right? That teaching level of learning, that teaching stage. Okay, so now if you're doing a training, you have them open up. Then the next thing you do a front half, or they do the front half, you do the back half. I don't know if Jamie's on the call, right? But he did a whole first half of a training, and I did the whole back half of the training, right? So what are we doing? We're giving experience. We're making sure everyone's got spotlight, right? That's what we're doing with that. Okay? So you've got to be thinking, teaching, and spotlighting your leaders, and start thinking in those different phases. All right? You do, I watch. I do, you watch. Then, like with me and Jamie, we do a little bit together. Right? Now it's like, oh shit, I'm throwing down with cash. Right? Let me make sure this, blah, blah, his confidence is going to build. When I throw down with Matt Rosen, my confidence level builds. I'm like, man, I can still do this. Yeah, I got to grow. Then, right, you do by yourself. Boom. Now you went through all the stages with teaching. But what I really want you to get is P150. All right, so look, let's just say this is P150. I'm going to draw the circles bigger. And I'm going to show you what I believe needs to be majority focus, okay, for your trainings. And so really quick, I was talking to one of our leaders yesterday, not going to say who because it doesn't matter, but I was like, when's the last time your squad's had a training, right? We haven't done one for a while now. I said, how many people did you bring in this week? About 10, right? About 10, this person says. 10 people this week, okay? So I said, okay, perfect. So you brought in 10 this week? He said, yep. I said, okay, perfect. Well, that tells me, and let's just be realistic. I said at minimum, so you do 10 times 4 because that's 4 weeks. So 40 people, right, at minimum. 40 people at minimum, right? 4 people at minimum, right? Were brought into the culture, or brought into the business, right? So that's 40 people. Yes. Okay, perfect. So when's the last time we did a training? We haven't done any in a while. So that means 40 people, right, are untrained right now for the last month. So now the next question is, how are they going to duplicate? A confused person does what? Nothing. So now let's just say, right, your organization is, let's just say 70 people hypothetically. So now you say, okay, it's about 70%, whatever, I'm not good at math, 70% of your organization now is untrained. Wow. And why would you have momentum? But my thing is that's going to be a majority of the people on this call as well. But the thing is it's not only the training that you should be doing, there should be a duplication of trainings. Now the problem that I see around the whole globe is everybody wants to do a training just to do one. The trainings go in stages for a reason, right? Because you could tell that I'm not a P150 giving you this training. That means there's levels to this shit. So in the beginning, you shouldn't just give a training on mindset if you yourself have not really mastered the mindset. So what do? So let's look at it like this. Okay, so we've got, let's just say, P600. Hypothetically, right here. Well, P600, what I believe is if your P600s is duplicating phase 1, they should train on phase 1. Because if they train on phase 1, what's going to happen is, this P600 here is duplicating phase 1. Boom. All right? So, boom. They're duplicating phase 1. Now let's just say, boom. Let's say P150. So P150, cool. What do we want them to duplicate? Phase 1. So, phase 1. Boom. Now what's going to happen? Right? They duplicate phase 1. So they do the training on PS3, phase 1, IG trainings. I don't see anyone in our squad doing that right now, right? And I don't see a lot. That should be, there should be a duplication of phase 1, of IG trainings, on recruiting on IG, on PS3. Because PS3 isn't as simple as just blah, 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 blah. It's always going to be different. It's always going to be moving. That's why you need that experience. And so you should have this in your culture, right? Duplicating phase 1, phase 1. Now you've got both of these levels duplicating phase 1, and now you've got momentum just driving down, right? From the bottom of your organization. You've got momentum just driving down momentum in the most important phase. Now guess what? Let's just say this is you, you're at, P1000. This is now the awareness stage, right? Your awareness level is now way up there, but you're starting to get it. You can see a little bit. At this stage, you don't just throw a fucking mindset training just to do a mindset training, right? That's why you gotta start, at this stage, you start doing trainings where it's needed. And you start finding out what you gotta be at, what's needed. Right? And if you don't know what's needed, then don't throw one, right? But you've got to be learning to grow your awareness. So now what you're having is this person is going to help close the gap, right? Is going to help close the gap on everything else. That person is what's going to tighten the organization. So yes, phase 1, phase 1, phase 1. Now you have the bigger leader that's coming in and saying this is what's needed, right? Yeah, of course, there needs to be more than phase 1, but I have awareness. I can see the bigger picture. Let me show you what we need to do. Okay, now again, I'm not saying it's got to be exactly like that, because anyone that knows me knows I don't just believe in ranks. Not at all. But I'm saying that you've got to be aware and think about stuff like this, because now you've got phase 1 going on at the bottom at P150 and down, P600 and down. Then P1000 should still be teaching phase 1. You should still be in phase 1. You should still be doing phase 1 on the training, but you should be doing a lot more, right? There should be doing a lot more how-tos at the bottom. You should be way more how-tos, because here's the thing. Let's think about this. No one's going to build their mindset if they quit. No one's going to care about staying if they do not get results. How-tos is going to get them the results. Now you allow your chairman to come in and give them that motivation, give them that mindset, give them that mentality. Now you've got a culture, right, where these other ranks, P1000, P2000, P5000, they're plugging the gaps, right? These ones they're training the teams, right? So you've got to have that awareness going on, and then you're having that cross-line duplication. So now, right, the P600 might be doing a phase 1, right, call, teach your PS3, but they have that P150 get on there and help them, right? So now they're learning how to teach. Then you get culture thrown in there. Culture is not just your team. Culture is by utilizing sidelines, right? So you take, right, the person over here or even over here and say, hey, let's do a training together, right? Bow, 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 bow. Let's think about this. Who am I doing trainings for, right, if people are not on my squad? Neno tomorrow, right? Shit. We did one for, who did we just do, Chairman 25s? Wanda and Randy Webb, we just did one with them, right? So my point is that's my sidelines, right? Fads, just did one with Fads, right? He called me and said, hey, I'm about to hit chairman. I want you to do the training for my chairman call, right? So sidelines, we're getting that sideline action. And guess what? I truly love these people, Because my thing is this is what happens. These people that's just in your organization, you want to know what they start thinking? They start thinking, man, I wonder if this person's only working with me just for money. Because this is only people that are benefiting each other. So these people are just benefiting each other. Right? But when you start getting that sideline action, now they're thinking, this company's not just about that. I truly love this. I'm truly here, right, for everyone in the company. We're all truly family, right? Yeah, I gotta, of course, focus on my team, but it's not just about me. It's about the person beside me as well. That's where you get that culture of love and energy, okay? And now, I got one last thing I'm gonna go over. Or actually, it's two. The first one is gonna be this. The first one is gonna be, right, I want to give now the mentality, right? The Grime Mentality. The Grime Mentality, all right? And then I'm going to go to my last part, and then we're done, okay? The Grime Mentality. Now, let's go over this really quick. With the Grime Mentality, okay, and I'm talking about, right, when someone comes in, they're unaware, right, meaning they don't know what they don't know. Now, when I realized, I always go back to when I started, and I truly believe that however I was thinking, a lot of other people are thinking when they first came in as well. I remember when someone told me that I had to hop on an op call. I'm sorry, on a training call. Just get trained or whatever. I was like, really? They're like, yeah, you got to get on this call. And I'm like, for real? And I was like, and it wasn't because I had an ego. I just like, in my head, this was like a baby, like it was just, we just recruit, right? I mean, I don't get it. And I truly thought that. So their mentality is, right, this is not business. That's their mentality, that this is not business. And so how they come in is the most important part, what they first see. And you've got to be very deliberate as a leader, right? Once you're having your team come around. So for example, right, we all have people coming over randomly right now, and I told everyone yesterday, I said we can't have people just randomly coming to the house because we might just be on our phones or whatever, or we might just be talking, right? We might just be having a conversation. And yeah, it might be about life, but what happens is, imagine if you're a new person and you come in and you don't have a task or something to do. You're just talking. You're just talking to the mentor, you're talking to everyone else, and now guess what? What's going to happen? They're now going to think, oh, this is chill. This is chill. And so what do? You now have a culture of chill. A culture of talk. And then a lot of you are now going to say, right, or a lot of you come up to me and ask me, why is this person not working? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to say, it's whatever the team is doing is usually almost always your fault. The question is, what are you doing for them to have been doing that? And so my thing is that if some of the individuals that had came here, because they came late at night, we were kind of winding down, right? And of course we want everyone over, and of course everyone here is like, yo, open house, whatever, of course, yeah, 100%. But the thing is when they came when we started winding down, right? They came into us talking. We're talking, we just got food, right? All this other stuff. So if they are to start slowing down, I'm not going to be thinking, why are they not grinding? I'm going to be thinking that was my fault as a leader. So now, if we know what causes that, we now think we got to do the opposite. I write this down all the time. You've got to have a plan. You've got to have a plan. You can't have people just randomly coming over to your house, right? Coming over to the house. Come over and just grind. There's no come over and just grind. Ez, I've seen your, Ez, are you on this? Is UK on this? Is Europe on here? No? Bet. So, Ez Hogg, right? I've seen right? She's having to grind like a three-day grinding session. Yeah, they are on. So they're having a 3-day mastermind, right? Slash kind of boot camp thing going on right there, out there in Europe, right? Out there in the UK. And so my thing is that they literally, or I seen her get her game plan and it's structured. It's like, we're going to do this here, we're going to do this here, we're going to do this here. If Ez did not have a plan, okay, because we got on the call, we were on the call for like 45 minutes on FaceTime going over day 1, day 2. Then I even told her, let's add another day, I'll pay for it, let's go, right? Because I love that you have the mentality to do this. Let me throw in, I love this, let's rock this shit. And we went over an exact game plan. And all the way up from tasks to energy. All the way from tasks to what the energy is like. Like, that's how much the game plan is. So she's not, because if she just got the place for 3 days, right? Just 3 days and they just showed up, what's everyone gonna do? Nothing. Nothing. So that's why when people just come to your house, there should not be a difference between you doing a 3-day mastermind with everybody going to your Airbnb and people going to your place, right, for the day or whatever to grind. It should be the same thing. If you need to have a game plan of tasks to do, all right? Because a leader is someone that leads. You're taking them from point A to point B. They don't know what to do. That's why they're not grinding. So when someone first comes in, though, they come to the grind house and you say, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a training right when you get here. Right? So now they come in just for the training. Boom. Now right after the training, what we're going to do is we're going to call through people with you. Okay, boom. Now what we keep saying, right, is this is business. This is business. Okay? So now we're giving them that hand-on, and now what we're doing is giving them that grinding mentality. And so now, since they came in not knowing what they didn't know, then they became aware, right? Then they started they have to consciously think about what they're going to do. Then they start to love it, and now they're just grinding and they're loving it and they don't know why. Because you shoved them all the way into unconscious competence, right? So start like this. You've got to start them moving. You've got to start them into the grind. You've got to have a game plan. You've got to have it mapped out. And now, this is now the last thing I was going to talk about. And I put a training up, or we're putting a training up on this on YouTube, right? But I'm going to go over it really fast. Right? Boom. This is you. Okay? That's you. Now, I don't want these colors there. Okay, perfect. Cool, that's you. Cool, boom. Now let's go. Actually, boom, 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 boom. Let's go. This is going to be, right? So, this is how you attack, okay? This is me teaching you right now how to fucking hunt, okay? Because what we say is be a shark, right? Sharks take down what's moving. You see a lion. Lions take down what's moving, right? You've got to be a shark. You've got to be a shark, okay? And so I'm gonna give you different color codes here. This pink right now is moving. Pink is moving. Pink means moving. All right? Green, not moving. Okay, perfect. Green is not moving. Okay? Now look, pay really close attention. This is a P1000. P1000. All right? This is a P600. P600. All right? This right here, right? Not ranked. This right here, right? P150. P150. Okay? One person. Right? Let's say unranked. All right? Let's say P150. And then let's just say P600. Now, this is the problem. And this is why I'm giving you a visual, okay? So remember, pink is not moving. Pink is not moving. So understand this right now. This is a fucking very important as a leader that you understand what I'm teaching you right now, okay? The problem with everyone is that this is going to be usually their favorite person. This could be me in Matt Rosa's organization, right? Chairman 50, I put in a lot of work, right? Blah, 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 blah. But that doesn't matter though. Rank is nothing. Now the other thing is we're going to be biased as leaders towards the people that first came in. I am going to be more comfortable calling, like Cynthia, for example, Savage or whatever, just because, I just see them on the screen, but just because, right, I've been working with them for so long. So it's going to be so much more, my mentality is, of course I'm going to go there. That's everyone's mentality. That's why I'm teaching you this, okay? That's normal. The problem is if you do that and you don't know you're doing it, okay? So that's the problem. So what I'm teaching you now is that, right, we do not go off of rank and we do not go off of potential. That is in the green. We do not go off of rank and we do not go off of potential. We only go off of movement. Movement builds your organization. I want you to understand, I've lost a chairman 10 in my company, okay? In my organization. I've lost, right, multiple P2000s before, okay? So my thing is, and it wasn't because of another company or anything of that, all right? But my point is momentum kept going, right? Most people are like, oh shit, what happened? No. What you do is you focus on what's moving. That's how you get momentum. So you go underneath the P1000 because the P1000, yes, they hit P1000 because they were working. But are they working now? So you've got to be trained to see and hunt and attack what is moving. And so what you do is you cut through the bullshit and you go through there. You go to there. You go to there, right? And now what ends up happening is majority of your organization, keep this in mind, majority of your organization will not be producing a majority of the organization. So it's going to be a small amount of people that are producing the most. But if you move very quickly, what happens is you get momentum by working on, right, by working with those people that are moving. And so what happens is now is this, right? If these people go away, that's why you have the momentum. So if that person is a chairman 10 over here, right there, that's a chairman 10, but they go away, that's why I have momentum, because I'm focused on what is, not on what's not, right? And I always say, not everybody can be saved, not everybody wants to be saved. So you focus on those that want to be saved, right? So start learning how to hunt. Start learning how to hunt, Savage, okay? Start learning how to hunt, right? This is so key that you think like that. Here's the thing. If I say, Drake, make a leadership chat, Drake's gonna give me this. If I tell most people, go make me a leadership chat, they're gonna give me this green P600, P1000, Chairman 10 bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's not your leaders. Now, what we do is we use the chat room as a list. Okay? So you have a list for phase 1. You have a list for phase 1. Alright? You have a list for phase 1. So list for phase 1. Of course. But you have to have a list for phase 2. Your list for phase 2 is your chat room. Now your chat room is doing what? You're able to communicate. You're able to communicate with the top movers of the company. Right? You're able to communicate with the top movers. Movement, momentum, right? Right? Now you're also having a list of people to focus on, right, for now. And so now that list is a list where the second you wake up in the morning, you know who to call. The second you wake up in the morning, you know what to see. The second, you know where to look at. You know what's going on. The important information is the movement, the productive. This is going to be your productivity in your organization. The productive stuff, right, is going to be in that chat room, right? Because now you know what to be looking at and you're aware. Now here's my thing. You're going to be adding, first of all, what you got to understand is, you got to understand what a leader is. And I just went over it, but if I ask you what a leader is, and I say make a chat room, I guarantee you're going to get it wrong. You're going to give me potential, kind of moving, kind of this, kind of that. No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm saying moving. I don't give a fuck if they have no potential. Moving. Because moving's always potential. But potential is not always moving. Okay? So understand that. Now, my point with that is that you now make that chat room and you have that a list to attack and hunt every single day. Now get this though. That list, and I was talking to one of our leaders today, right? Bigger organization, like 200, 250, 250 people. Now get this though. I was like, okay, well, since you have that list of you have an organization of 250 people, right? Your leaders are your moving leaders, your movers are going to change. Probably on a weekly basis, maybe even every 5 to 7, 3 to 5 days, right? With an organization that big. And so what we've got to do is we're going to add the new movers to the chat room. We want to be aware and be deliberate on everything that we're doing, but when we add them to the chat room, you do not remove someone that stops moving because that creates bad energy with your leaders. What you do is you continue to build that chat room, and then when it starts getting really big, right? This is just for leadership chat room. It should always be small anyways. When it starts getting too big, you make a new one, and you now have a new list. You start all over, and you cut all the people that stop, all that dead weight, you leave them in that chat room. You don't got to leave it or nothing. You just don't use the chat room anymore, and you go to the next one. They don't know, they're happy, and you're happy, right? That's how you move. That's how you move. So that's what you do instead of removing people. That's how you chase and hunt momentum, okay? I'm done for tonight, right, on all of this shit. This is going to be how you build, all right? This is how you build. This is how you be a productive leader. You go phase 1, and you productively be in the phase 2. You productively chase these leaders. You've got to start getting that sideline culture, right? That sideline culture going on, right? ATM specifically you. You guys have a scarcity mentality, and I'm telling you that as yours truly because I truly love you. Get rid of the scarcity mentality and go back into what made you where you are. Why is your organization not helping other organizations? Why are they not doing trainings and stuff for their sidelines and all that other stuff? Get involved. If you get involved, you get more passion. If you get them involved, they get more passion. They get more experience. Get them involved and start throwing trainings, leaders. You should be doing trainings, right? There shouldn't be 1,000 trainings going on all fucking week and shit, right? So be aware of what's going on, but you should be having a training probably, right, every 10 days or so. That's, okay, again, I don't do anything off of structure, okay? I'm saying, I'm just giving you a range, 7 to 10 days, maybe. You know what I will do? I will do questions. I will do questions, okay? 7 to 10 days, maybe. But you've got to get that going on and be aware, is your organization throwing trainings? How can I move this piece into that piece? How can I do all that, right? So hopefully this training helped you. But ATMs, right? If you are not doing this, you're not doing what took you to where you're at right now. And you're going to continue to be where you're at right now until and everything's going to collapse back to the nearest pillar because your people are not growing as leaders, okay? So with that part being said, I'm done. I'll take a couple of questions. I love you guys. I'll see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. Let's get it.